I'm Gloria Moraga. This is the Political Woman Podcast. The case that haunts me. The Supreme Court, domestic violence, and guns. Let's go back. Sacramento, February 28th, 2022.
A news conference now underway in the mass shooting in the Arden Arcade area. Several people are dead, and we are now learning the suspect is also dead. Let's listen in.
At 5:07 this afternoon, we received a call. There was a shooting inside the church. There was apparently a church or worker upstairs in this building. They left that building, called us. As we have found now, is an adult male, a father, who has shot and killed his 3 children that are under the age of 15. My understanding is that there is a 5th person that is also deceased.
The case that haunts me. I'm haunted by the pictures of 3 little girls. It's a domestic violence case. It happens every day in America. A woman requests a restraining order from police because she's been beaten by her partner. This is something this particular woman did, and her name's not being used to protect her. And so the man, who I don't think has any rights at all, is whining and complaining, and he wants to see his 3 girls. So the church is involved. So a man from the church agrees to take the 3 girls to the church to meet with their father. The next thing you know, there's a shooting. And when it was all over, 5 people were dead. The 3 little girls, the man, who was a family friend, member of the church, who agreed to take the little girls to the church, and the shooter himself. The little girls were 10-year-old Samantha Mora Gutierrez, 9-year-old Samra Mora Gutierrez, and 13-year-old Samaya Mora Gutierrez. Also killed 59-year-old Nathaniel Kong, who was this supervisor. He was doing it as a favor. He was a member of the church. Little girls, their pictures are heartbreaking. Domestic violence, it happens every day. There's one weapon, there's one thing women can do to try to protect themselves from domestic violence. They can go to police and ask for a restraining order. Now, does this stop these vicious people from hurting women or even men? Does it stop partners from hurting their partners? No. If they want to do it, they can. They figure out a way. But this shooting that happened in Sacramento in 2022 is just an example of guns and domestic abusers. And so we turn to Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled, quote, when an individual has been found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another, that individual may be temporarily disarmed, consistent with the Second Amendment. Wow. Holy cow. And the court goes on to write, since the founding, the nation's firearm laws have included regulations to stop individuals who threaten physical harm to others from misusing firearms, as applied to the facts here. And then they quote, this case fits well within this tradition. And this was a case, a man, a domestic abuser, sued because he wanted to keep his gun and said the Second Amendment allows him to keep his gun even though he's got a restraining order issued against him. The lower court held that the man could keep his gun, and then it went to the Supreme Court. And they ruled, and I had no hope that the Supreme Court would rule in favor of women. But it was an 8-1 decision. And it held that if you're a threat, the Second Amendment doesn't apply to you. Does not apply to you. Is this going to help every woman, every man who's a victim of domestic violence? No. Will it help some? Hell yes. The case in Sacramento, this dude was a real bad dude. He just was. His partner filed a restraining order, and he actually checked the box that said, "Do you have a firearm?" He checked the box saying no, he did not. But clearly, he got his hands on an AR-15 style rifle. And he was a bad dude all around. He was arrested for drunk driving and assaulting a police officer in another county. And they didn't keep him in jail because this was a county-to-county thing, you know? The Merced County Sheriff's Office said when he was arrested on February 23rd, so just a week or so before the killing of the little girls and the Good Samaritan, they didn't know that he had a restraining order in Sacramento County. So this is a county-to-county thing. And clearly, we need to fix this loophole. But I could go on and on about this dude, but I'm not. I'm not. Because he's dead, and more importantly, the little girls are dead. And the mother is still alive. So I wanted to share this story with you and share this Supreme Court ruling, which was stunning to me. And I will say that this is a podcast short. I'm not going to go into all of the other things that are going on, but I am going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing a wrap at the end of the day as we gear up and get ready for the debate next week between President Biden and the convicted felon, the found guilty of sexual assault, apparent Republican nominee. How did we get here, man? How we got here. I'm Gloria Moraga, political woman, with this podcast short on the Supreme Court ruling. I'll have more on my website, gloriamoraga.com. I will put the links to this story background I got from KCRA Channel 3, the NBC affiliate in Sacramento, and the Sacramento Bee has some information on it. I will put those links in that story, in that post on my website, gloriamoraga.com. I will also link to the Supreme Court ruling so you can read the entire thing. It is something to behold. Finally, a ruling for us. And of course, Mr. Nasty, Clarence Thomas, is the one dissenting vote on this. What? Who is this guy? I mean, I don't understand these Supreme Court conservatives anyway. They loosened gun laws in prior rulings, and now this. I mean, I'm glad that they've come to their senses on this. But usually it's, take your guns. One, come all. I support the Second Amendment in a limited way. I support it the way the Founding Fathers meant it to be supported. I don't support it in come one, come all, everybody get a gun. We need gun reform. We need gun safety regulations in this country. GloriaMoraga.com. Go there. I'm stepping up the website. Put all the links there so you've got additional information on political stories as we get ready. Go through the summer and get ready for November. I'm Gloria Moraga. Please be safe.